to get started.
Good afternoon, Dr. Jones and fellow team members. I am Laura Jackson Clark. Today I would like to share my experience about being a progressive Muslim in today's society, which is dominated by Christianity. 16 years ago, I reverted to Islam. Since that time, I have taken the time to become an avid learner about Islam, which includes learning about the 5 pillars, which consists of believing in one God. Also, we have to pray 5 times a day, and those prayers includes a morning prayer, which is Fajr, an afternoon prayer, which is Zuhr, a mid-afternoon prayer, which is Asr, an early evening prayer, which is Maghrib, and then we have a night prayer, which is Isha. We also fast during the month of Ramadan. We have to pay zakat for the poor, and we have to make Hajj if we can afford it financially, as long as it's not a burden. And there are so many other interesting things that has kept me grounded in my faith. It has taught me the ways of being very, very disciplined. And when I say discipline in regards to relationships, we know that in Islam, relationships is not about boyfriend and girlfriend. It's basically about building a family unit. When we say a strong family, that means we don't really want to play around and look for something that's not, I guess I have to say, cohesive or strong. So that is one of the reasons why we look for mates in terms of marriage. So that was one thing that I really truly like about Islam, and I think in each society, if everybody focused more on that, I think it would make for a better unity amongst societies. And in terms of, since taking my commitment to be a progressive Muslim, people normally ask me about my style of dress. They ask me, does it hinder me in any way in regards to my employment? At first, I was a little bit hesitant about covering, but I realized when you do things that God tells you to do, some of the obstacles, is removed. I am employed, I go to work, I work in the society, so the clothing really, really doesn't have any bearings. I think it only has a bearing is when you perceive it as such. When you're strong in your faith, again, like I said, when God puts things in place, sometimes people don't see it or understand it, but I realize that as long as you have a strong faith, then you'll be quite fine with all the things that tends to come up. There are a lot of other things that people often ask me. They ask me, is my family Muslims? And I am the only Muslim in my family. There are times when it gets to the point it could be a little bit frustrating because I don't really have anyone in my family that I can go and talk to about my religion, and that kind of hurts in some ways. But I do have a newfounded family in my religious community, so that in itself is a good thing because, like I said, it's an experience, and each day we're always learning something new, and people are always coming and asking the questions about where do we go in terms of finding a gathering with other Muslims. Here in the Hampton Roads area, we don't,
5 minutes. Good.
we really don't have a strong community. I'm sorry, we don't have a large community, but we do have a strong community. Most of the students um, um, that are at ODU, which is a strong masjid in that particular area, but I think that's probably about the only strong community that is in this area, which is, like I said, that's the masjid by ODU. And I think that kind of covers just the basic of what Islam is all about from my perspective. But if you ask someone else, they'll tell you, oh, there's just so much more to be said about it. But I do want to also conclude that Islam in itself is a very peaceful religion. And even though people look at it today and says, why is it such extremists? But I think as in anything, you're going to find extremists, whether it's in Christianity, Judaism, they are there. So the only thing is, ours is just standing out because of all the things that are now happening within Muslim countries. And if there's any other questions, feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to give you more insight. Thank you.